everyone, I'm Alarna Hope and I'm a fashion stylist and image consultant based here in Sydney, Australia, and I want to share with you today my favourite places in Sydney to shop. So as a stylist, I'm always shopping. I shop every single day, whether that is for a work bag that can fit a laptop in it, as well as a drink bottle, an iPad, and phones, and pens and papers and lunch and all those different things, or whether it's just for a complete overhaul of someone's wardrobe. I'm always shopping, and the main area I really like to shop is around Sydney CBD. I've always loved shopping there, mainly because there's a lot going on in one area. So you can walk from store to store, everything's about a 5-minute walk away from each other, so it's really handy, especially if you're looking for a bunch of stuff in one area or if you're running a few different errands at the same time. I wanted to share with you brands that I think have been consistent when it comes to customer experience, quality and range, and I also wanted to talk about just in general where my favourite places to shop are, so that you can go and visit these places and hopefully have as good of an experience as I've had. In Sydney CBD you have the Queen Victoria Building, you've got the Mid-City Centre, you've got Westfield in Pitt Street Mall, you've got the big department stores like Myer and David Jones, you've also got great little kind of arcades like the Strand Arcade, and you've got the galleries, the Chifley Tower. There are so many good areas just in kind of a 3 or 4 block radius of each other that it makes shopping a lot easier. And so if you're visiting Sydney for the first time, or you don't come to Sydney very often and you want to spend your time wisely when it comes to shopping for clothing, I would recommend Sydney CBD, just because you can get around so easily. There's a light rail there now, you've got train stations, you've got buses, there's taxi ranks, you can walk everywhere. It's really quite a good place to go shopping. One of my favourite places to shop in the CBD is the Queen Victoria Building. The Queen Victoria Building is a bit of a landmark, and it's also quite a big tourist attraction. There are a lot of really nice kind of brands and boutique kind of stores in there. You can go, I think it's about 3 or 4 levels high. You've got the lower ground level, which has like little cafes, more kind of affordable ranges. You've got activewear, you've got shoes, some accessories. The further up you go in the building, I feel like the more exclusive it gets, and that is similar in Westfield and also very similar in the Strand Arcade. I feel like when you go into these areas, the higher those floors are, or the further you go up in those buildings, the more expensive it kind of gets, or the more formal it gets. There's more formal dresses and jewellery and special kind of shoes, nice suits, things like that. One of my favourite places to shop in Sydney CBD isn't actually Westfield Pitt Street Mall. I do love Westfield Pitt Street Mall, don't get me wrong, there's so much to choose from. It's got a great food court as well, and there are really good fashion brands for both men and women in there. But in terms of a place that has quality, customer experience and a lot of different ranges to choose from, I would say the Strand Arcade is amazing. It's my favourite place to go, especially early mornings before the stores all open. I love walking through the Strand Arcade. It's great coffee, there's lots of good desserts, and my cobbler is in there. He's fantastic. It's Coombs at the Strand Arcade. I'll leave his details below if anyone's interested in that. You can buy a really good shoe care from him, and I've never bought a pair of shoes into his store that he hasn't been able to re-erect or resurrect, not re-erect. So there's the Strand Arcade. I also really like shopping around the Dymocks Building. So Dymocks, the bookstore, actually has a building that is attached to it, which is called the Dymocks Building here in Sydney. There are some cool kind of boutique stores in there. You can also go like even kind of record shopping in the Dymocks Building. There's wedding dresses, formal dresses, jewellery, handbags, opals, record stores. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do in the Dymocks Building. Plus it's also kind of a really cool like Art Deco vibe going on in there. It's a little bit creepy at night time when it's empty, but it's otherwise a very fun experience. My other favourite is the galleries, and it's mainly a favourite because of 3 stores. The first one is 124 Shoes. 124 Shoes is a shoe brand which is a small business. I think there's only a few of them in Australia. They stock brands of shoes from different small designers around the world. Everything is really high quality, it's top notch. These shoes are shoes that will last like 10 years at a time. I absolutely love 124 shoes, and I find the customer service to be really good in there, and I think the staff are pretty knowledgeable on what they're selling. So they're in the galleries. Another brand I absolutely love in the galleries are Nudie Jeans. So Nudie Jeans, when I've got a client that says, you know, I really want some top quality jeans and I want them to fit me like a glove, particularly male, because I do find personally that Nudie does really good men's jeans. I like the women's, but I think they absolutely knock menswear out of the park. And they do a great denim jacket. I mean, they specialise in denim, so how could they not? But they're a very ethical brand, and I love the customer service in that store. I've found them to be really good when it comes to me shopping in there with my clients, and also just being flexible. You can go in there, you can get fitted really well by someone that knows what they're talking about. It's not just, oh, those look good on you. It's, these are going to wear like this. They're going to end up looking like this by the time you've worn them at this particular time point. This is how I suggest they get cared for, and you get free repairs. You can do trade-ins and get a discount off your next pair when you trade your old Nudie jeans in. I think they're really cool. So it's a cool customer experience. It's ethical, and you're buying something that's high quality. So I really like shopping in Nudie Jeans. The other brand that I really like shopping in the galleries is Spring Court. Spring Court is a brand that's been around since the 1930s. They do tennis shoes, and that's what they're known for. They're really comfortable. They've got decent soles on them. They actually have like a perforation in the sole so they don't get so smelly so quickly. They're just a really good, versatile, very timeless shoe. And I've got to say, I think customer service in there is fantastic. There's always really good things to choose from in that store. It might sound a little bit niche, but I think if you're ever in the mood or ever looking out for just a really good shoe that's a casual sneaker that isn't, you know, the Adidas Stan Smith or those just kind of Converse kind of canvas sneakers, all stars, I think the Spring Court shoe is a really good alternative, and the store is absolutely beautiful. And what about thrift stores? So when it comes to thrifting or looking for vintage clothing, there are a few favourites that I've got. We have no shortage of thrift and vintage stores around here. I mean, Newtown is a great place to go to if you're wanting to kind of hit a whole bunch of them. Same as Crown Street in like Surrey Hills area. There are a few really good ones that I like. Particularly, I'd like the idea of being able to reuse pieces. I've got a coat in my wardrobe that is an original 1940s coat, and you know, here it is 2020 and it's still lasting. It's still in really great condition. I wear it every single winter. You might have seen it on my Instagram. It's a gorgeous big green coat. I absolutely love it. I think I got it for like $12 or something like that. So when it comes to thrift shopping or vintage shopping in Sydney, I have three favourites. The first one is the St. Peter's Salvation Army next to the big IKEA store. The next one is Potts Point Vintage. The other one that I have is the Emporium. I like all of these for different reasons. So the Salvation Army in St. Peter's is very well organised, it's spacious, it's well lit. I find if you're going to do thrift shopping and you're not a regular thrifter, going into a store that is very organised is the best way to do it. When you go into vintage stores, they're often going to be more expensive. I think a lot of people get a bit mixed up with shopping vintage and thrifting. If you're shopping vintage, these are things that have been curated for you. I particularly love whoever is curating the Emporium. It's 60s, 70s, 80s, gorgeous pieces, well organised. An amazing experience when you go into the store. It's very nostalgic. They're over in Surrey Hills, like a close walk from Central Station. I really like Potts Point Vintage too. I've only been there a few times, but every time I've gone there, I've had a great experience and I've found amazing pieces. You can find really cool jackets in there. There are some really cool internationally sourced pieces. The person that is doing the sourcing for that store has a really good eye and is really particular about the pieces that they're letting into their store. When it comes to other brands that I really like shopping with in Sydney, there are a few that I venture into a lot just because the quality is really consistent and the people in the store are really lovely and they treat me and my clients like royalty. So one of the brands that I absolutely love shopping in is Saba. I find they do really good Pima cotton t-shirts. I feel like Pima cotton is where it's at when it comes to t-shirts. I absolutely love them and I find they fit really nicely across men's and women's. I also really enjoy their workwear for women. I find they do some pretty decent quality suiting for women, and that is a hard thing to come across. For women's wear is good quality sitting that isn't just, you know, unlined, average fit. I find Saba to have really good fits. Another brand that I really like, and it is another suiting brand, but this one is for men, it is MJ Bale. MJ Bale is an Australian-owned brand. It's mainly known for suiting, but they also do really good casual wear. I love their chinos. I think they've got great accessories. Their belts are amazing. They also sell Goodyear welted shoes, which If you're interested to find out a bit more about Goodyear welted shoes and really high quality shoes, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to make that video for you. But there's MJ Bale. If you're looking for a work suit, if you've got a special occasion coming up, you're getting married or you're going to a wedding, they've got almost everything. You could really deck out majority of a wardrobe by shopping in a store like MJ Bale. Also, the staff, absolutely lovely, and I find them to be pretty knowledgeable on what it is that they're selling, particularly with suiting, because if you're going to buy a suit, you're making a very big investment, and I would much rather spend my money with someone that knows what they're talking about when it comes to suiting than going into a store where they're a little bit ho-hum on what it is they're actually selling you. Another brand that I absolutely love shopping in with clients is a women's shoe brand. It's called Mercer. There's not a whole bunch of them around the city, but they have a lot of variety when it comes to women's footwear. So it could be that you're wanting sandals, you're wanting a cool kind of fashion sneaker, you want a good winter boot, you might want a really nice, just, basic court shoe, or you might want something a little bit interesting. I always find they have a lot of variety when it comes to shape and mainly color. They're not just a sea of black shoes and brown shoes. They have coloured shoes there, which it's an absolute godsend. I love a coloured shoe, and I think it's a very undervalued thing in someone's wardrobe. So if you're looking for a really good shoe, that are good quality, that are a great price, and you want to have a lot to choose from, I find Mercer to be amazing. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm really excited to have you here on my channel, and I hope you subscribe and leave me a thumbs up. If you find that you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos about shopping in Sydney, whether it's shopping from an expat's point of view, or you want to see a bit more of a tour of some of the Sydney shopping centres, or you want some shopping advice or styling advice, please let me know in the comments below. It's what I do for a living, and I would absolutely love to help you out. Otherwise, I will see you next Sunday for another video, and I hope you have a fabulous week.